Hi, it's Phil Kerner, the Tool and Die Guy, and if you followed me at all over the last several years, one thing I really enjoy is the history of the trade. And one of the things I have been a little bit shy about talking about is my history in the trade. And it's a very interesting thing yesterday. I took the time on the toolandieguy.com to post a few galleries. And one is called KTD1, Kerner Tool and Die 1. The second one's called KTD2. Kerner Tool and Die 2. So, got to keep up with me here. So, it was really interesting for me to post the pictures. And maybe you didn't know this. I used to own a very beautiful shop. And we had about, this wasn't some garage shop here. We had about 43 guys that are at the top of our business, 3 designers. We were doing really well. And by 2003, every single one of our customers went to China. So things happen, right? But it's been kind of painful for me to look at those pictures, but I took the time and put them all together. One of the first pictures you're going to see is a picture of a tan Deckle, a KF12 Deckle. Well, let me tell you a little bit of a story that I need to share this one because it's pretty amazing. That Deckle was how I started my shop, and the year was 1990. I was still working as a mold maker at Tetra Tool Company, but I wanted to start my own shop. Now back then, we didn't have 3D CNC machines. So the way we created 3D molds was from tracing with Hydrotels and Gorton Trace Masters and Deckles. And I wanted to start a shop. I wanted to buy a Deckle. And I can't remember, I think I paid about $7,500 for this thing. I bought it from a scrap metal dealer here in Erie. $7,500, right? So my life savings go into this Deckle. Well, there's a funny story here in Erie. The Deckles were very popular here. At the original Kerner Tool and Die, there was a guy that, named Sam Schember, and he was the Deckle guru, the Deckle maestro. And then he passed that down to a gentleman named Dick Forbes, who was an excellent toolmaker, but a tremendous Deckle operator. And by the time I ended up at Tetra Tool in 1983, I learned to run a Deckle there from Dick Forbes. So it went from Sam Schember to Dick Forbes to Phil Kerner. Well, little did I know when I bought that tan Deckle machine in 1990 with my life savings, I started duplicating these forging dies for a company in Meadville, and got paid pretty well. I was working my day job at Tetra Tool. Then I would go over to this little warehouse I had rented some space at, and I'd trace out these forging dies. And they were paying me like $750 a set. It took me about 2 nights to do a set. That's about $1,500 today. Not too bad. Those days are gone, so don't get too excited. So there's that tan Deckle. One day I looked at the side of that Deckle, and there's a big K on the side of it. Well, when Kerner Tool and Die, when my Uncle Ed died in 1969, his wife, my aunt, ran the shop for a few years and sold it to a guy named John Kathman. And when the shop burned down, Kathman Die and Tool, John went into the used machinery business. Well, that machine survived it. Well, I had no idea. I was 14. But when I bought that machine, I had no idea. One day I looked at the side of it. There was a big K on it, and it said Camco underneath of it. Well, Camco was Kerner Accurate Machine Company, and that was a little ghost company my Uncle Ed had set up at Kerner Tool and Die to put some machines aside for probably depreciation things, whatever. So I ended up with a machine from my uncle's shop when I started my own shop, totally by accident. Pretty cool. So as the years went by, that Deckle was always the centerpiece of my operation, one of them. But so it went from, again, Sam Schember to Dick Forbes to me, and I ended up hiring a young man named Kyle Forbes, and Dick's son. And I passed what I had learned on the Deckle to him. Well, by the late 90s, because Kyle had done so much 3D work on the Deckles, he was a natural fit. So he went to 3D CNC machining, and he got trained in that. And to this day, that's what Kyle still does. So that's how the trade's supposed to work. There's 2 stories there. That I ended up starting my own shop from a machine from my uncle's shop, which was totally by accident, kind of by some sort of divine providence, I think. And that got passed down through 4 generations. Sam Schember, Dick Forbes, to me, to Kyle Forbes. So that's the way the trade used to work. I hope you enjoyed that story. Check out the galleries, KTD1 and KTD2 over at thetooldieguy.com. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you in the next video.